Shettima affirmed that Nigeria has moved past the era of economic instability, crediting the President Bola Tinubu's reforms for stabilizing the economy and boosting investor confidence. Speaking at the opening of the Digital Nigerian International Conference and Exhibition 2025 in Abuja, Shettima cited a recent sovereign credit rating upgrades by Fitch and Mondays as a proof of renewed global confidence in Nigerian economic direction. He said that the government's focus is now on ensuring that microeconomic gains reach citizens across all sectors, for small businesses to multinational corporations. Highlighting the importance of digital innovation in sustaining growth and inclusion, Shettima emphasized that the 20th century solutions can't solve 21st century problems. The Vice President also outlined the 3 pillars of the administration: digital strategy, people, infrastructure, and policy, aimed at developing digital talent and expanding broadband access nationwide and creating an enabling policy environment. He also the economy and the e-governance bill designed to usher in a smarter governance and a greater transparency. Shettima further urged the private sector collaboration to accelerate digital transformation, describing entrepreneurs and innovators as key drivers of progress. And earlier, the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, and heads of NITDA and the Nigerian Data Protection Commission allowed that the administration's digital policies, reaffirming the government commitment to empowering youth and positioning Nigeria as a global leader in technology-driven growth. The Senate Committee in Public Accounts has vehemently rejected the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation's NNPC financial submissions, questioning the corporation's reported expenses and receipts, a sum of 210 trillion naira between 2017 and 2023. The chairman of the committee, Senator Aliyu Wadada, expressed serious concerns about the NNPC's financial figures, particularly the claim that the corporation paid joint ventures partners in 2023 alone, despite generating only 24 trillion naira in crude revenue over the past 5 years. He called the figures inconsistent and warned that figures absences of the NNPC's group CEO of committee's hearings would no longer be tolerated, signaling a more stringent approach to accountability. And other committee members, including Senators Abdul Ningi and Adams Oshamale, voiced strong criticisms, accusing the NNPC of playing to the gallery and obstructing transparency. The lawmakers reaffirmed the committee's commitment to rigorous oversight of public finances. Senator Oshamale, however, emphasized the importance of collaboration between government institutions and citizens to ensure that public funds are properly managed in line with the financial integrity expected by Tinubu administration.
107 trillion. Haven't exhaustively reviewed the answer by NNPC. 107 trillion, the equivalent of which in dollars is $117 billion. Against available facts and evidence provided by the same NNPC, which go contrary to their claim, the 107 trillion cash call paid to JV partners in 2023. To reject this. Why the committee is rejecting this is that 103 trillion as accrued expenses. NNPC revenue of 24 trillion naira.
Not. And this committee is not EFCC, it's not ICPC, it's not police. We don't do behind the scene. We do it openly. And that's why the management of NDS or whoever is called should come and make his case public. I just want people to know that this is the responsibility of this committee. More so, the EFCC, ICPC are also being oversighted National Assembly as opposed to constitution permits. The fact that you are answering something in the ICPC, EFCC does not give you any leverage not to answer, of course, because ours is different. We are constitutionally right. The ICPC, EFCC are all laws, but National Assembly Act.
Not a few people see NNPC as behaving as if they are the country, Nigeria is their parastatal. And so they are both the country. Now, my worry is not about the fact that, looking at the period of coverage, doesn't come under the present GMD. Yeah. But the fact that the GMD is anxious to cover up the fraud suggests that he may also want to continue with business as usual. That is what troubles me. Because, like you rightly said, sir, being given the opportunity to come and explain what happened that you have inherited should be something you should do freely. But time and time again, the GMB is never going to come here. And those figures you mentioned, sir, about charging crude, subsidy on crude, and then NPC go on to charge subsidy on refined product. It's not just a matter of law. That is, the real word for it is fraud.
The total number of senators on the platform of the All Progressive Congress APC was as a result of the defection of Senator Agam Jaribe from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the APC. The news of Jaribe's defection is contained in a letter read by the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barrow, who presided over Tuesday's plenary. In the letter, the Cross River North Senator explained that he had to leave the PDP because of the division within the party. Speaking with journalists shortly after Tuesday's plenary, Senator Jaribe said that his decision to join the APC was informed by the visible achievements of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
Well, the facts speak for itself. I've already mentioned a few things, that led to this that are fundamental. But you know that the president has done very well, and we have empirical indices to speak to this. Our forex liabilities have been cleared to the tune of about $10 billion. And this is incontrovertible. Foreign reserves from $3.99 billion has risen to about $42 billion. He has also attracted foreign direct investments commitments to the tune of about $50 billion. This would have a positive multiplier effect even on my constituents. I can go on and on and on, but I'm just looking at the fiscals so that you can verify. I think we should support him to look like they are very bad.
Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has confidently predicted that President
Very bad.
Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has confidently predicted that President Bola Tinubu faces no serious challenger in the 2027 presidential election, describing the race effectively as a candidate and mandating him to serve a full 8-year tenure. Speaking to Senate correspondents before the Tuesday's plenary, Kalu dismissed the chances of opposition figures such as Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, stating that none of them can defeat Tinubu. The Southeast has a foundation for Tinubu's expected success in the election. On political dynamics, Senator Kalu clarified that no governor have been forced to defect to the ruling All Progressive Congress, but acknowledged a steady influx of politicians voluntarily joining the APC from other parties. Further addressing the national security concerns, Carlo referred to recent comments by former Nigerians violence as he aligned with the sentiments, noting that Nigerians of all faiths have suffered an ongoing terrorist attacks.
Did what Donald Trump says, is it a lie? The answer is yes. It's not a lie because Donald Trump said the truth. Nigerians are being killed, whether they are Christians or Muslims. Are they not being killed? If they kill people in Plateau, they go to a church in Plateau, those they will kill are Christians. If they go to Benue, the majority of people they will kill in Benue are Christians. If they go to Zamfara, majority of people they kill in mosque there are Muslims. So these people are jihadists. These people just want to destroy Nigeria. So we should call a black name on them without any pity. They will be smoked out. It's also the same Americans that caused the problem. Because when you kill Gaddafi and kill Saddam Hussein, we have a problem. Because those people were maintaining their borders. Nobody was crossing there. It's after the kill of those people that light arms and big arms went wild all over the world. And we are suffering from it today. Whether President Tinubu will win 2027 election, has he got any person contesting against him? The election is Tinubu versus Tinubu. Like it was Soludo versus Soludo. You saw it, and I said it before. People say, are you Abga? Let me tell you, if you read the meanings, I have not seen any coalition opposition against President Tinubu. The president have no opposition. We have our party is fully with the people. Our party is fully justified with people. So we have people on ground. Nobody can say that we don't have the people on ground. But we will continue. Let me be honest with you. We will continue doing things we can do to help the Nigerian public. Let me be honest with you. You know, I am a businessman. I'm feeling all the pains and I'm taking all the glory also. You will find out that the economy is growing. Macroeconomy is doing very well, but the microeconomy is not doing very well. It's the microeconomy is the problem. So, and this is where you see the Chief of Defense Staff, the newly sworn Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, and all the rest of them are fighting very hard to drive away this bandit. Our economy, if you see the micro type of it, we are doing very well because foreign investors are coming. Everything is to trickle down for the masses to have daily food, go back to farm, and it's only going back to farm that can bring the real growth.
The House of Representatives has inaugurated an investigative hearing to probe the over 1.8 billion US dollars and 2.8 billion US dollars grants received by Nigeria from the Global Fund and the United States Agency for International Development between HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, as well as for strengthening the health system. The chairman of the House Committee on Infectious Diseases, Amobi Oga, said the probe was essential to determine how the huge grants had been utilized and to ensure accountability in the management of funds aimed at tackling infectious diseases ravaging Nigerians. Correspondent Linda Ike reports that he directed the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the Country Coordinating Mechanism CCM to ensure that all principal recipients and implementing partners submit their implementation plans for approval by the National Assembly. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Muhammad Ali Pate, called for a gradual end to Nigerians' dependence on foreign aid in funding its response to HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria. Now, Pate said the country must take a greater responsibility for financing its health priorities as donor funding declines after 2 decades of support. He noted that while donor assistance has saved millions of lives through HIV, TB and malaria interventions, Nigeria's health spending remains below 15% of the Abuja Declaration target, and warning that underfunding. Declaring the session open, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, represented by Ibrahim Isiaka, said the investigation reflects the party.
To the principal recipients and the sub-recipients that are here, each of them is here, and we have the list, and we have shared with the commodities that were procured and delivered, who has been delivered, who has been treated. Of course, there are sensitivities around who is treated for what disease. That is personal information, so that will be identified. But more than 1.5, and we want to continue to support them. And the network of people living with HIV is here as well. The same thing with you. We also are glad that the EFCC and ICPC are here, and we urge them to also dig deeper so that if there are any issues at the system, that we can collectively remedy them so that the domestic financing.
It is within this context that it becomes necessary to ascertain what has been done of those grants indirectly. We should call a spade by its name. Any grants or assistance being given to us without us managing
mandates of this committee. The public is assured to have access to reliable information to translate evidence into actionable reforms.
The Chairman, House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee, Abamidele Salam, says that the future of Africa depends on the quality of values and vision being instilled in the children today. Salam stated this ahead of the 2025 future, represented by the Chairman Planning Committee of the LCNC, Chibuzo Okereke. Salam said that the forthcoming conference will empower the young Africans with leadership, skills, digital literacy, and a deep sense of social responsibility. Program partner and director of Safe Africa, Amina Abubakar, described the National Children's Leadership Conference as a unique initiative in Nigeria that only instills leadership values in children, but also gives them means to be parliamentarians and policymakers. Programs officer of the CALDEF was expanding its reach.
Of values and vision we instill in our children today. He reaffirmed CALDEF's mission to nurture a generation of digitally empowered, socially conscious and ethically grounded young Africans who will take responsibility for building a prosperous and united continent. The 2025 Children Leadership Conference promises to be a landmark event in advancing child leadership development across our field with purpose.
To be a policy maker and putting those mindsets in them right from their young.
It is to reiterate the fact that it is an event that helps children. It helps children to be seen. And when they see that we are putting efforts in letting them to be seen, we are putting efforts in allowing them to voice out their opinions, to voice out their potentials, they want to now contribute. They don't want to just be passive, they want to also be active contributors to whatever is happening in their society.
Operatives of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Textile Distributors are found engaging in unethical bin shut-in fabric materials are misleading consumers by charging a full price for less than the standard length. The enforcement operation, led by the FCCPC's Director of Surveillance and Investigation, Bola Dalia Deyinka, followed the weeks of surveillance in Kano markets. The Commission discovered the numerous instances of retailers advertising fabric lengths that were not met in the actual products sold to consumers. The textile products involved included brands like LGR product, Yuan Me product, Nanatex product, and others. Marketed and stored at multiple locations across Kano City. The distributors violated provisions of the FCCPA 2018, which prohibits false and misleading representations in terms of quantity and price. FCCP's EVC/CEO, Mr. Tunjibelo, emphasized the Commission's zero tolerance for such deceptive practices, warning that selling underweight products harms honest traders, restricts consumers' choice, and fosters anti-competitive behavior. He assured the public that the FCCPC will continue to enforce the law rigorously to protect consumers nationwide. And the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress of APC, Professor Neto Yelwata, has called on Nigerians to support President Bola Tinubu for his re-election bid in the 2027 general election. Professor Yelwata, who was represented by one of the party's stalwart at the national level in person of James Udoma, was speaking at a 1 million mark to endorse and support the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu. He advocates and policy reforms across the various sector. And our correspondent Jamiu Omoni reported that the rally was described as an avenue to create awareness about the president's policies and programs, and they believe are already yielding positive results. The event had in attendance some members of Nollywood and also featured the faction of some thought that the initiative would deliver 1 million votes for President Tinubu in the 2027 election.
You can see by yourself what is going on here. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with his tremendous work that he's doing in Nigeria today, with the development, with the road construction, with the initiative, with the student loan, countless of all more that is going on. Asiwaju Bola
2027 people for 2027 and 2026 by God's grace.
We are here today to say support for Asiwaju. We're not campaigning, we're just trying to enlighten people. Get things to them clearly with a lot of Nollywood stars here. We're all here saying Asiwaju, people should be patient, be with him 30 days.
A federal high court in Abuja has for the second time restrained the PDP's Democratic Convention scheduled to hold in Ibadan, Oyo State, between November the 15th and 16th. The court also barred the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from supervising, monitoring, or recognizing the outcome of the convention, where nationwide arrays are expected to be elected. Justice Peter Lefu on Tuesday issued the fresh order while delivering ruling in an application brought by a former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido. Lamido had taken the party before the court, complaining that he was denied the opportunity to buy the chairmanship nomination form to enable him to participate in the convention. The judge predicted the restriction order against the PDP because the party refused, neglected, and failed to comply with the relevant conditions and laws for the conduct of such conventions. A coalition of civil society organizations has called on the federal government to suspend the proposed 15% import tariff on petroleum, PMS, and diesel, warning that the policy could stifle competition and raise fuel prices. Speaking at the media briefing in Abuja on Tuesday, the executive director of the Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa justification for the tariff to protect local refining capacity and stabilize the downstream petroleum market could have unintended consequences. Nwagu noted that the measure will eliminate competition, increase the fuel prices, and concentrate monopoly control in the hands of the Dangote refinery. The coalition also urged the government to ensure transparency, a fair competition, and to suspend the tariff until domestic refining capacity meets at least 80% of national demand. Another speakers at the event, including Director of the Center of Transformative Governance, Ajayi Gaskia, and Austin Aigbe of Civil Society in Nigeria, and emphasized the need for the downstream competition framework and opened the data policies to prevent monopolistic practices and promote energy justice.
The government insists that this policy is corrective and revenue driven. Yet, the true effect is to protect private profits at the expense of public welfare. The government's role is to ensure fairness and transparency not to pick winners and losers. Nigerians are already enduring fuel subsidy, adding a 15% tariff at this time will only deepen the hardship and risk public unrest. It also contradicts the very spirit of deregulation, supposed to dismantle cartels, not create new ones under different names.
Saying that we want accountability. We want, for instance, to have a database and a registry where you would have all of this information, but also a database and a registry that is accessible to everybody, including you as the media, that you can actually go and check and verify facts. So we want to be able to know what are the outputs, refinery outputs. There should be a data that tells us on a daily basis, this is the output for the refineries, and then broken down into PMS, AGO, and the rest of that. Again, also what is available for the Nigerian market and what is being exported, because I mean the refineries we are talking about also export. They are not just producing for us, and then also data on imported fuel. So if we have all of this daily, and then we can then compute daily consumption and the rest of that, so that every one of us can then know what distance we need to travel in terms of getting things back.
The whole idea the government told us is to liberalize the economy for informed competition. Today, our government has not paid attention to even modular refineries that we have it in South Africa. Let there be surplus supply of petroleum products in such a way that even the foreign importers will fade away. It will fade away, which is fantastic. What about the 60%? What will happen in the future, because there will be no competition, is that in an attempt to meet 100% supply, the prices will go up.
The Consul General of the People's Republic of China in Lagos, Ms. Yang Yuqing, has reiterated China's commitment to deepening its long-standing partnership with Nigeria as both nations celebrate the key national milestones. Speaking at the operation with Nigeria across the various sectors, aligning its policies with Nigerians' renewed hope agenda and its 8 priority areas. The Chinese envoy highlighted a notable state visit to China, which elevated bilateral relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership. She further revealed that the trade between both countries continued to flourish, with bilateral trade reaching $21.8 million in 2024, marking a 25.5%. The trade volumes rose further to $15.48 billion, representing a 34.7% year-on-year growth. In his remarks, the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Idahosa, called for a stronger investment collaborations to unlock Nigeria's economic potential and enhance the regional trade integration. He also urged Nigerian manufacturers to emulate the Chinese businesses that drive industrial growth and innovation.
China and Nigeria, we have a long traditional relationship, especially since last September, when Nigeria President Bola Tinubu had very successful state visit to China, participate the Beijing Summit FOCAC. So the heads of our 2 countries decided to upgrade our bilateral relationship to comprehensive strategic partnership. So since then, I think that our cooperation and friendship have made a bigger achievement, like trade, business, agricultural modernization, and digital economy, and manufacturing, and also vocational education, and so on. And today, I'm so glad to participate in this grand opening ceremony of the Chinese Pavilion during this the Nigeria Lagos International Trade Fair.
As a manufacturer in Nigeria, you don't have to produce all the parts yourself. Just make sure you have a chain of suppliers within Nigeria who will specialize in various parts and you just bring them together and you produce. So we need to learn the Chinese manufacturing secrets, which is miniaturized, small size coupling with partners that are supplying the parts and the processes. And that's why they have conquered the world when it comes to manufacturing. They spread out the many small partners who develop most of the Chinese cars that come are produced by several companies in China. Almost every part of the car is produced by a different company in China. And one company assembles them with that and put their brand. So when it assembles them with that and put their brand. So when we have assembly plants in Nigeria, that is the way it works. The assembly plant is the core. It's like the assembly plant is the core. It's like the warehouse. It's the spare parts businesses.
In NDIC has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to protecting depositors' funds, regardless of any unforeseen circumstances that may affect players in the banking industry. In there is an ongoing 2025 Lagos International Trade Fair on Tuesday. He emphasized that the cooperation remains a vital Claims Resolutions Department. Wale Sule highlighted that a stable banking system is an essential pillar that sustains business connectivity and fosters creation in the economy. He further noted that the NDIC has made a significant progress in strengthening depositors' protection, particularly through the enhancement of deposit insurance coverage and other strategic initiatives. In his remarks, the Deputy President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Leye Kupuloyi, commended the NDIC's proactive measures to ensure the Nigerians' depositors remain protected, even in the event of a commercial bank's downturn.
Currently, the depositors of deposit money banks are depositor, while for payment service banks, microfinance banks, and primary mortgage banks, the coverage is 2 million naira. Talking about insurance coverage. With this, 99% is actually covered. But we'll still keep on looking at indices that makes us increase the rate from time to time. With this expanded coverage, approximately 99% of depositors are covered, demonstrating our unwavering commitment to deepening public confidence in the banking system. In the rare event of a bank failing, depositors whose balances exceed the insured limit
to involve in responding to the emerging reality. Key priorities should include increasing the deposit insurance coverage limit to reflect current economic reality, stressing digital infrastructure, deepening financial inclusion, and enhancing cross-border supervisory cooperation across all the nations in Africa and the whole world. Achieving this cooperation.
Thousands of residents in Ibadan of Oyo acquire more land for the Ibadan Circular Road Corridor. The protesters from various local government areas are demanding that Governor Seyi Makinde maintain the original 150-meter width marked by former Governor Rashidi Ladoja, who claimed that the proposed extension will affect more houses and community lands, leading to displacement and loss of life road, causing a significant traffic congestion. They have also gathered at the entrance of Agodi Government Secretariat, wiping placards to express their discontent. The president accused the current government of land grabbing and violating their rights. They threatened to embark on a mega peaceful protest if the demands are ignored. The Ibadan Circular Road Project and communities. A philosopher in arts, Dr. Emmanuel Irokanulo, emphasized the importance of immersing children in arts from kindergarten, nation and faculty, benefiting them in various fields and not just art. The stated District 404 Nigerian contest final themed Together as One. Dr. Irokanulo, as chief lecturer at the Yaba College of Technology's Fine Arts Department, believes arts culture fosters creative minds. He praised the Lions Club 404 Nigerian's Peace Arts campaign for involving children. Council chairperson of multiple District 404 Nigeria, Dr. Jita Bello, noted the contest is an annual event for children aged 11 to 13 with a 40-year history. He urged everyone to promote peace in their communities. Dr. Falashade Shotomide, the chairperson of Lions 404 Nigerian Peace Posters Contest of 2025, said the contest encourages children to focus on peace, impacting their communities and future. We'll now take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll take some stories from the foreign scenes.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point o.
Money point, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land as sure banker. Progress na small wind where they carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. No go Bible.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Welcome back. In the foreign scene, Iraqis began voting for a new parliament on Tuesday at a pivotal time for the country and the wider region in an election that both Iran and the United States will be closely watching. Fertile land for proxy wars regained a sense of stability as it tries to move past decades of war since the U.S. invasion that toppled the Saddam Hussein. But even now, the country suffers from poor infrastructure, a failing of public services, a mismanagement and endemic corruption. Many have lost hope that election can bring a meaningful change to their daily lives and see the vote as a sham that only benefits politicians or political elites and regional powers. And no new names have recently emerged with the same shite and the capital that killed at least 8 people, a conspiracy vowing that those responsible will face justice. Police are yet to give exact details of what caused the Monday's blast near the historic Red Fort, one of India's most well-known landmarks and the site of the annual Prime Minister's Independence Day speech. It is the first significant security incident since April the 22nd, when 12 Pahalgam in Indian-administered Kashmir are triggering clashes with Pakistan. We now take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll take some stories in sport. Welcome back in sports. Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo on Tuesday said that the next year World Cup would be his last as he winds down one of the all-time great careers. The 40-year-old fought with more than 950 club and international goals and also said that he would retire from football in one who began a lucrative stint in Saudi Arabia's Al Nassr in 2023. Also elaborated a comment last week when he said that he will retire soon. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner is targeting a 6th World Cup next year, as he came closest to lifting the trophy in 2006 when Portugal lost to France in the semi-finals. Portugal have yet to qualify for the 2026 tournament in the USA, Canada and Mexico, but can secure the spot if they beat Ireland on Thursday. And the Falconets have won the 2025 Worlds at Johor in Benin Republic on Tuesday. The Nigerian girls scored through Akerumawi Alaba Olabi and Ramotahali Karim to seal the victories for the Falconets. Ghana won the maiden edition of the tournament 2 years later and now the champions of the competition for the first time, as they began the game with a strong showing and expectedly took the lead in the 17th minute and following a powerful long-range free kick. Preparations are underway for a major sports event aimed at transforming Nigerian sports industry into a key driver of economic growth. The event tagged the Big Sports Dialogue 1.0, Rashid 5. The chairman of the local organizing committee, Osaze Ebuka, while speaking at the official stakeholders from across the country. Ebuka stressed that Nigerian sports industry remains largely unreutilized, contribute less than 0.5% of the country, and adding that the dialogue aims to address the gap by promoting investment, innovation, and policy reforms within the sector. Stakeholders are optimistic that the Big Sports Dialogue 1.0 will mark the beginning of a new era for sports development and economy. And that's where we draw the curtain in tonight's news. I remain Victor Daniels.